Recording number 2, Electric Boogaloo, because OBS is an ass, and it reset all my channel settings and didn't record any of my microphone the whole time I was talking. So we're gonna do again. You guys didn't see it, but I saw it because I did it. We're gonna make another windmill gearbox. I'm gonna teach you how to make the gearbox. It's all about speed, right? That's the theme we're going with. If for any reason you wonder, shut up. You wonder why I'm doing something, it's for speed. The speed is important. That's the speed that we want. It's the cocaine of the sky. Well, I guess speed is more like methamphetamine, but cocaine makes you go fast. But that's not the point. We want speed. All right, so how do we make speed? Well, we start off with some axles. We need a large gear. For the sake of completion, I'm gonna put in a brake, even though it doesn't matter. We want a transmission. We want a clutch. We want angled gears. We want a rotor. We're gonna go with the 8-prong because it's funny, because it goes turbo fast. Alright, so first of all, I need one of these. We're gonna plop that down because this main drive, this is the main drive. I'm gonna refer to this as the main drive. This is the shaft that is just the default, the incoming power from the windmill. Main drive. Main drive down. Build some axles. Stop falling. Get that shit out of the way. Get that shit out of the way. Build some axles. This can be as tall as you want it. Every 10 blocks from ground level, or from wherever you're starting, every 10 blocks up you go, you get 1% extra power. Let me tell you, with the millwright sails, it doesn't fucking matter. Don't worry about it. Make your windmill however you want. You can make it 4 blocks tall. Well, I mean, don't make it 4 blocks tall because then your wind sails will hit the ground and explode. But you don't need to make it crazy tall. You don't need to build on top of a fucking mountain and freeze to death all winter like a psychopath. It's fine. You can make it however you want. So we're gonna plop that guy down right there. You pretty much have to do this because he's always coming backwards for some reason. Although not always. Most of the time, some of them don't. I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, get an angled gear on there. So now that when we have sails on here, this angled gear will rotate and drive this main drive. Up, 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 up. What's our wind looking like right now? 34%? That's not bad. Oh, also we can bring this up and look at it, and we can see 400% 400 kilonewtons of power at 100% speed. I think is how that works. We are currently at 34% wind speed, and this thing is psychotic. It's crazy. It's scary. Look how fast it is. And you know what? For the sake of clowning, we're gonna. That's not where I wanted that. Let's go ahead and turn that down a little bit. For the sake of clowning. God damn it. You know what? I'm not gonna ask questions. It's time for terror. Look at that, you can even keep track of one of them. Jesus. This is speed. This is that sky cocaine we want, alright? We come down here. So, what now? We have the main drive. This space down here, this is intentional. We want this. So, this is going to be the drive gear. Main drive gear. I made these up. It doesn't make any sense. They make sense to me. But this is the actual thing. We don't really use this. This is the thing that's going to drive all of our machines. So to do that, plop a transmission right there. Boom. This is our first gear. This is high gear. This is our highest speed. So what we're doing here... Did you catch that? It just turned around. What we're doing here is converting the speed of this large wheel. This is relatively fast on the outside. Actually, let's turn the wind up a little bit because it looks like it's struggling. There we go. Also, pro tip, if your windmill ever starts just being fucking weird and just stops for no reason, just toggle some clutches. Because they'll kind of crawl to a halt like this, and then you just undo it and wait for it to spin back up. There we go. Now we're working. So what we have here is relatively high speed on the outside of this gear, right? Because it's way out here. It's going faster than it is in the middle. So we're using this angled gear to convert this rotational energy into a different rotational energy, into this clutch, or into this transmission, which this clutch engages. And then boom. Big speed increase. This is our high speed gear. This is high wind. 50% or more typically will be able to run high gear with most machines. With these things, it doesn't matter because they are psychotic and scary. But yeah, that'll be our high gear, which if you have millwright sails, you will basically never not be using. I'm going to come down here. This is going to be low gear. This is extremely high torque. If you have regular sails and the wind is pretty high and you want to drive like 2 or 3 half hammers, you're going to want this. It's very slow. So we're taking this relatively slow gear rotation and turning it into slower gear rotation. But this is very high torque because it's coming directly down the shaft, right? So this gives you very high torque. This will drive pretty much anything as long as there's enough wind. I almost never use low gear. It's very slow. Most of the time you are either going to be using high gear or direct drive, which is what we're going to build right now. Plop an axle down on there. These axles have to be connected to a solid block for you to place angled gears on their sides. And then until something is connected to them, that has to stay in place. If I pop this, it falls off, right? I'm gonna put that back on. Who's fucking up the wind? Who did it? Whatever. I'm gonna plop that there, and now that that's there, I don't know how the hell that stays in there, but I'm not asking questions again. We can get rid of that. That stays there. That doesn't need to be there. It just has to be there for you to build it. And this, typically, I tore this part out because I have millwright sails and I don't need direct drive anymore, but you put a brake right there. Put our next transmission there. Oh, right. I have to do that first for some reason. And then there we go. I don't think this brake can actually stop these, even though it is the reinforced brake with the iron bits in it. I think you need like 2 or 3 of them to stop these horrifically fast things. Typically, though, that would take a while. It smokes a little, and then it brings the windmill to a halt. I don't know why you would do that, other than aesthetic or RP reasons. So this is an optional part. I just like to have it in there because it's neat. And then we plop a clutch right here. And this is our direct drive. This is taking this rotational energy from this wheel and just carrying it down to this wheel. These are exactly the same speed. They're just going in opposite directions because gears. So there's no reduction. There's no increasing of gear ratios here. This is just direct power from here to there. This is really good at all wind speeds. You can have low wind speeds like 20-30% and still reliably drive like a quern off of this if you don't have crazy psychotic meth head sails. So that works pretty good. Direct drive, very, very good. High wind speeds, you want that high gear, you can make that quern go crazy. Here, let me show you. So these two slots here are machine slots. And yes, you could totally come over here and just like, if you're a masochist and you like to torture yourself, you could totally build another one of these and have another reduction gear here to have like a second high-speed box. I usually don't do this just because this wheel by itself is just huge to make. It's a lot of materials. It's not entirely necessary. So what I do is I'll put a clutch here, not a clutch, a transmission here, hook those up, and then from these we can either run machines like a quern. Is that enough room? see. Right, this has to be complicated because you have to like do that. You can probably scoot that one closer. Like that. Stick and angled there. And so the coordinate has to be driven from below, so that can get kind of weird to figure out. But check this out. Look how fucking fast that thing is going. I can barely see it. Get out of here. Why are you not giving me a stack? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Get that in there. Boom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look how fucking fast that's going. It's going so fast that this thing is like all the way at the end every tick, and it's just done. It's insane. It's already done. It's already done. So, the high gear, right? That's what that does. So we come over here, and then like you can hook up, you know, a health hammer here, or a pulverizer, or whatever. Or, in the case of my windmill and my bar down at Fredery's, I have a line that comes out into the next building where the bar is. And then this just drives out like that. And then I have a line here, and a line here. And this one does a little turny-do. Put angles on those. And then these two come in and feed into my quern and my powered mixing bowl. And to do that, I just come back into the mill, right? And I pop open my little trap door so I can see my clutch, and I turn that on. Boom. I have power in my bar. And so, normal sails, mirrored or not, if you're not using the millwright sails, you're not going to get this much power, and the further away from the center you go, the further away from the main drive, the less power you have, right? So let's illustrate that. Up here, pop that guy, pop that guy. So let's just use something that we all started with. It's a 4-pronged regular ass windmill rotor. I need a piece of dirt. Give me that. Quit your bouncing. Plop, plop. Over here, plop that in. With those, I lost all my angled gears. Give me that. Oop, wrong button. A little faster. Alright. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Too fast. Boom. Pop, 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 pop. And pop. So how much is that? So that millwright sail, one set, or 5 sets of 8 sails, right, on our old windmill was 400 kilonewtons. How many do we have here at 100%? We have 100 kilonewtons. That is 1/4 of the power. Because we have technically 1/4 of the sails because they're like double sized and there was 8 of them. I don't know how to do math. We want that storm back. So at 100% we have 100 kilonewtons of power, so we're getting about 115 right now. I believe this is showing the extra from how tall this is, but I'm not 100% certain on that. And like, look at this. These are still going pretty quick, right? But not like they were. You couldn't keep track of where these things were going a second ago. So, how fast does this make the corn go? Yeah, this is... See how that happened? It's because that's still being driven. If I unclock that, it goes a little bit faster. And this is one sail, 100% wind speed of the regular sail. So this is about the speed you get on high, which is, it's still pretty good. It's nothing to scoff at, you know. It's not bad. It's just that those other sails are fucking crazy. But like, this is in high gear, right? This is in high gear at storm speeds. What we can also do is run it in direct drive, which goes about the same speed, but it's a little more consistent. So if the wind speed starts wavering down into the 50s and stuff, this won't slow down too much. If you drop below 50% wind speed with this thing going, it's just gonna grind to a halt. Get it? Grind to a halt. Anyway. So they're not the greatest, but it's what you got. It's something you can build. So we're gonna come back up here because we want that speed. God damn it! I did it again. We're gonna go back to our crazy person sales. Let's go with the triple. See how that holds up. That looks really cool. I like that. What is this? 150 kilonewtons. So that's 50% better than our default sales. So pay attention to auto walk. Pay attention to, like, it actually matters how many sails you put on these things. You can have 5 sets of any sail, but you can only have as many, prongs as the rotor allows, and then that'll actually influence how much power you get out of it. And you don't have to mirror with the same rotors. Like, we could mirror with let's do a 6 sail on the back, right? Because, why not? And then boom. Now we have 300 kilonewtons over here and 150 over here. That's a lot of power. That is a lot of power. If I flip this back on, boom, baby, look at that. Look at it go. Look at it go. Oh, and newly, with the millwright mod, if you want to maintain room status in your windmill, these things aren't perfect. They're a little buggy, but I reported the bugs. The guy knows about them because they don't reproduce all of the power on the other side. As you can see, this one's going crazy fast. These ones are a little slow, but these will keep your room integrity, so you can actually just build power through the wall and still have your room keeping you warm during the winter while you're out there smashing shit by the forge. And then, other than that, it's all about just setting up. Like, let's get our health hammer out here, and we'll get a steel hammer, and we'll get a health hammer base, and we need a toggle. That is the 3 parts you need to build a health hammer. Hook the toggle up. So we're gonna bring that out 1. Hook that toggle up, right? Now let's turn this off for a second. Hook the toggle up, that base goes on the back, and then the health hammer goes on top. And then we want an anvil right underneath that. Boom. Now you got wind-powered smithing. And if you want to go crazy and do the thing that Kane is doing, because he's a dwarven psychopath who lives up in the mountains, you can do this. Oh yeah, you know what's coming. You know. You can see it. You can see the hell that is about to be unleashed on this poor anvil. Boom. And then we hook these up with some angles. And that should be enough power to drive all of these, even in high. Let's check. How fast is that, right? How fast is 4 health hammers smashing the shit out of a single anvil? Let's find out. We need a forge. We need some charcoal. We're gonna need a torch. And a little extra daylight, because it's starting to get dark. Oh, and we need some steel ingots. Light those babies up. I don't want to stand here all day. Nice and hot. Alright. Put those away. We're going to make a bar, or a plate. Plate needs two ingots. There's 2 ingots on there, typically. Yeah, with those sails, you have 1 sail up there, maybe 2. 2, like a mirrored pair like that. With those sails, this will take, given you have the wind speed for it, gonna set that back up on storm. Given you have the wind speed and one hammer, plate will take about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. If you have storm speeds, maybe a little faster, maybe even slower if you don't have a good wind going on. Just want to put that in direct drive and give it a go. But 4 hammers going with millwright sails. Let's see. That's not bad. That's a plate in about 5 seconds. Let's go crazy on it, yeah? Let's get our 8-prong. You know, punch these boys out. Up, up. Up, up. Put that guy there, put that guy there. Thank you. Angled gears. Get rid of these. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 400 kilonewtons, 400 kilonewtons. Oh, that's one more thing I want to show you. You can actually see, while you are building these, how much force. See, right now we have 0 kilonewtons because there's no sails. We would put one set of sails on, 80, 160, 240, 320, 400 at 5. It's 5 sets of sails on 8 prongs. That's some math. I think that's like 40 sails or something. And these things aren't cheap, so you don't have a whole lot of cloth. You don't have a whole lot of material. Start out simple. Make the regular windmills. They are perfectly viable. Once you get those ones and you want to be a psychopath and you want to run 4 of these fucking things, by all means. Let's take these guys, slam another plate on there. Boom. That was even faster. What was that, like 3 or 4 seconds? Ridiculous. Ridiculous that this thing can drive 4 of these in sequence on high gear. And like you don't have to make them all in a row, you know. You could have them all in a line, and you just have one anvil here, anvil here, anvil here, and you have 4 different works going. You can do whatever you want. You hook the pulverizer up, the pulverizer goes ham, it goes and it smashes things. It's great. So now you know how to make a nice little 3-speed gearbox. High gear, low gear, direct drive. You can power just about anything you need, through anything you need, anywhere you need. Power of wind, methamphetamines.